What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video where we will talk about a massive update on the Mo Salah contract situation. Fabrizio Romano came out with an exclusive video, breaking news yesterday evening, and I think Rami Abbas, Mo Salah's agent, is feeding him information because they had an exchange previously on Twitter, so they know each other, and he said that Salah and his agent have no intention to accept the current new contract bid from Liverpool. Talks have broken down since December as things stand, according to Fabrizio Romano. Mo Salah's priority is to stay, but not at current conditions. So let's see Liverpool's next move. That was the tweet. But in the video he explained that basically Liverpool have offered Salah a contract that Salah thinks is not good enough. And many Liverpool fans are saying that this is the agent's work, and partly that is true. Maybe the agent is urging Salah on to ask for the best wages in the world because Salah is the best player in the world, and I think Liverpool need to make an exception with Salah and pay him his fair market wage value. I mean, when Jordan Henderson was having contract negotiation troubles, his agent, Jordan Henderson's agent, went to the English newspapers, and there was a story where it was that Henderson's contract talks start stalling, and Paris Saint-Germain and other clubs are interested in Henderson. And lo and behold, a few days later, Liverpool announced that Jordan Henderson has signed a new contract extension with improved wages. So in the case of Henderson, the agent's work actually did the trick, and Liverpool offered him a higher salary. But in Salah's case, it's not as easy because Jordan Henderson's improved wages fell in line with Liverpool's wage structure. But what if Salah asks for £500,000 weekly wages, and for example Virgil van Dijk is on something like 250 or 300,000 pounds per week? Salah's improved wage of like 450 or 500,000 would absolutely break Liverpool's wage structure, and you can understand Salah's viewpoint, basically coming from the place where he thinks he's the best player in the world. Many people, including Jurgen Klopp, said that this season Salah is performing like he's the best player in the world, so he wants to be paid like he's the best player in the world. He wants his wage to reflect that, and he's seeing Ronaldo and De Bruyne and other people getting paid huge amounts of money, and he said, I'm good enough, I'm better than them even this season, so I deserve the same wage. And don't get me wrong, Salah right now, with bonuses and all the clauses in his contract, is earning around £350,000 per week, as I said, with bonuses. And I think what Liverpool should do is offer him a wage, a basic wage of basically a higher wage than what he's currently on. He's currently on 250 guaranteed, and then with bonuses it goes up to 350. So they should offer him maybe a 350 base wage, so £100,000 per week, a wage increase, and with the bonuses Salah could be in the same bracket as Kevin De Bruyne or Cristiano Ronaldo in the Premier League. So I think that's what Liverpool should do, and if Salah rejects that, now that what is the problem. The other problem is that Fabrizio Romano didn't exactly reveal what Salah is asking for and what Liverpool's offer is, because that's the only information where we can truly judge whether Salah is too greedy or whether Liverpool is too stingy, and whether Liverpool are not really trying to pay the share market value of Mo Salah. And this is now a very dangerous situation because it looks like the contract talks are as far apart as they have ever been during these contract talks, and that is very, very worrying because in the summer that's the only time where Liverpool could get a massive amount of money for Mo Salah, because in the summer he is 30 years old, he has 1 year left on his contract. And also what is very worrying, and I think this is also the agent Rami Abbas's work, is that Fabrizio Romano said that Salah loves the Premier League, and if he can't stay at Liverpool, he might be interested in staying in the Premier League. And that is absolutely ludicrous. That he said he would be really sad if he would have to play against Liverpool in the future because he loves Liverpool. But basically Salah is open to staying in the Premier League. Who could pay his wages? Newcastle and Man City. I mean, I would be fine with Salah going to Newcastle. In my opinion, Newcastle right now is not a threat for Liverpool's title hope anytime soon. Maybe in 2 or 3 years they will be, but right now not so much. But if he goes to Man City and Salah makes Man City even more like unbeatable, that would be just an absolutely unacceptable move. Not just from Salah, but from Liverpool as well. To sell Salah to Man City, that would be absolutely despicable and unacceptable in my opinion. And also, Salah has another option. He waits 1 more year after this season, and then he will have a massive signing on fee, a pay bonus, signing bonus, wherever he goes. And then basically Salah, at 31 years old, can choose his next club. Basically, he can do a Wijnaldum. But, the transfers of Coutinho and Wijnaldum and Emre Can should be cautionary tales to Salah that money is not everything. Yes, they earned a lot more money at other clubs than they did at Liverpool, but they never hit the heights. Salah could play as well at another club as he plays at Liverpool because he's a world-class player, constantly improving, constantly working on his game. And also he's a modern professional and he's almost never injured. But Liverpool, if they don't pay Salah a big wage, then it would cost more to replace him. I'm pretty convinced. And I honestly, I don't see why Liverpool wouldn't give Salah the salary that I talked about. 350k base salary and then big bonuses whenever he reaches like 10 goals and 10 assists, or 20 goals and 10 assists, or 20 goals and 20 assists, 25 goals, and so on and so forth. Maybe say if you play 30 games a season, you get 50k bonus. If you play 40 games, you get 100k. If you play 50 games, you get 150k, and so on and so forth. So you could get, you could insert a lot of different bonuses and different clauses into Salah's contract to make him happy. And I think this incentive-based, bonus-based contract would be or could be the way forward. What I don't really like about his agent is he's sometimes behaving like a 12-year-old hormonal girl on Twitter. And I don't know offense to those people, but when Jurgen Klopp was doing his press conference and Jurgen Klopp said that Liverpool basically offered Salah as good a salary as they can, and Jurgen Klopp didn't say that Salah rejected it. He said that we are just waiting on Salah to basically say something to that contract offer. So Jurgen Klopp's comments in the press conference contradict what Fabrizio Romano actually said. And then when this happened, when Jurgen Klopp said this live in his press conference, Rami Abbas, Mo Salah's agent, posted like 7 or 8, that crying, laughing emoji. He just posted that, 7 or 8 of those emojis. He posted that on Twitter. I mean, you are the agent of the best footballer in the world, and you are behaving on social media like an absolute child. What on earth are you doing, Rami Abbas? You absolute moron. If I was Salah, I would definitely have a word with my agent, because Jurgen Klopp is absolutely adored and idolized by the Liverpool fan base. And if the agent thinks that the Liverpool fans will tolerate him taking on Jurgen Klopp and basically disrespecting Jurgen Klopp in public on Twitter, a public social media platform, Salah's agent is disrespecting Jurgen Klopp in broad daylight, then the Liverpool fans won't tolerate that. They will stand up to that. They won't accept it. And the problem is Salah and his agent Rami Abbas, they have a very close personal relationship. But basically Rami Abbas is cooking his own meal here. He's trying to stir the pot and trying to engineer a move away from Liverpool, because Salah is his only client. So if he wants to get a big paycheck, if he wants to get a big money in his bank account, he has to engineer a move away from Liverpool, where when Salah goes to another club, the agent gets a big cut of the transfer fee and negotiation, transfer bonus and everything, signing on bonus, everything else. The agent gets a big cut, And when Salah signs a new contract at Liverpool, maybe the agent doesn't get as big a slice of the pie as he would have if Salah goes to another club. So that's why I hate football agents, because they are always more incentivized to, engineer a move away from the football club than to engineer a contract extension. Of course, Salah is right to ask for big wages because he's the best player in the world. But also, I understand Liverpool's point of view that if we give Salah £500,000 per week base salary, then the whole wage structure of Liverpool and how it is structured will collapse. Because then Virgil van Dijk will think, why am I only on like £300,000 per week? Sadio Mane will think, why am I only on like 250? Trent Alexander-Arnold will think, why am I only on 150? All the players at Liverpool will ask for bigger wages in the next 2 or 3 years, and Liverpool already have one of the highest wage bills in the world. So Liverpool can't really stretch that out another 30-40%. That's a fact, because Liverpool are a self-sustainable club. We are not run by a Russian oligarch funding a war. We are not run by an oil country like Qatar or United Arab Emirates or Saudi Arabia. Talking about Saudi Arabia, Jurgen Klopp has called out Newcastle United in his press conference, and he asked quite bluntly, did anyone care when Chelsea was took over by Abramovich? Did anyone care when Man City was took over by the United Arab Emirates? Did anyone care when Newcastle was took over by Saudi Arabia? I think a lot more people cared when the last thing happened, because people were more aware of the human rights violations. And Jurgen Klopp was very quick to point out the lack of scrutiny over owners in the Premier League prior to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And basically, Jurgen Klopp is accusing the Premier League and the Premier League authorities and also football fans that turn a blind eye to ownership concerns prior to Russia's invasion to Ukraine. Suddenly, Roman Abramovich is a problem at Chelsea. But it's really a sad state of affairs that many thousands of innocent people have to die in Ukraine for the Premier League to wake up and say, oh wait, we should look into human rights issues when it comes to owners in the Premier League. And Jurgen Klopp, when he was asked about the ownership of other clubs, he said, I don't think it is really fair to ask me. You are much longer in this country. Did you care really? Did anyone really care when Roman Abramovich came to Chelsea? Did anyone really care when Newcastle got taken over? Do supporters really care? It is a question. It's pretty obvious where the money is coming from. Everyone knew it, but we accepted it. That's our fault. It is a society fault, so we accepted it. Now we cannot accept it anymore, so we punish them. It is not Chelsea's fault, not at all. It's the owner's fault, who has close ties to Vladimir Putin. And I have no idea about what background checks would look like, but I can tell you I am 6.5 years here in England, and from the first day I came here, I was really happy with our owners, and in these times I'm even more happy with our owners. In the end, owners are there to lead the club, to give financial resources when they want to make a benefit. We don't even think about where the money is coming from. Now we start obviously thinking about where the money is coming from. I think that is a good idea, to be honest. We should think about that a bit more, and that's the problem, that the Premier League didn't care and they don't still care really where the money is coming from. But now public backlash is so much that probably they have to do something about this, and also the fans of Man City and the fans of Newcastle will have to be very nervous, and they have to be sweating after watching what is happening to Chelsea. Chelsea got all their bank accounts and credit cards and bank cards and debit cards frozen by Barclays, an English bank, because of Roman Abramovich, so they couldn't even buy petrol into the team bus, which I found absolutely hilarious and unbelievable in today's day and age. But it's a right punishment, because Roman Abramovich has very close ties to the war in Ukraine waged by Putin, and I think the the same fate should be happening to Newcastle and to Manchester City. Their owners should be kicked out of the Premier League, because you can't have owners who have absolutely appalling human rights violations happening in their country for tens of years and maybe even more. As long as they have money, the Premier League is fine with them coming in and just spending insane amounts of money in the Premier League. That's not right. You have to take into account the human rights abuses and issues that happened. I mean, it's well documented what the Saudi Arabia Crown Prince did with Jamal Khashoggi, a journalist, and other human rights violations. Whoever proved this ownership takeover has to have a long, hard look at themselves. But the Premier League approved it because they could be challenged in court. Because why did they approve the ownership of Roman Abramovich? That was the first problem. Why did they approve the ownership of the United Arab Emirates for Manchester City? That was another problem. And now basically, if they didn't approve the ownership of Newcastle, that would have been double standards. But I think the Premier League should make Man City owners sell Man City, and also they should make Newcastle owners sell Newcastle. But I don't think they can do that under the current laws. I don't think that they have the authority to do that. Maybe if the British government sanctioned those clubs, but that's for another video. I just wanted to say my opinion as well. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. Goodbye.